Hey YouTube, I'm Kenneth Ryan.
I'm Lindsay Resop.
And we're back with another exciting episode of Fanfiction Friday, and we're returning this week to Clockwork. I don't remember if this is the fic we left off on. Yes, I think it was.
Did we do a one-off? No,
yeah, we did a one-off Clockwork, so we're on Clockwork week 2. Got it, okay.
Okay, yes.
So we're picking up where we left off, which is Clockwork chapter 27 of 59. And I'm just going to start. Because, frigate, this is going to take 10 years to finish. The next 4 days passed with flying colors.
Which
Silver.
Is not, that doesn't work. You can pass a test with flying colors, but days, no, that's not a valid statement, sentence, whatever, turn of phrase. Continue.
Silver didn't know what to think, as the football ended with Jonto as the ultimate winners, Hoenn in second, Kanto third, Sinnoh fourth, and Unova, the host region, unfortunately dropping the last place.
Oh, wow.
It was the start of the third and final event of Section B, basketball, where 3-on-3 matches were to be played.
Oh, the tournament's not over?
Jesus. Lenora had been replaced by Drayden for Unova, as she had broken her arm in an awkward tackle in the rugby yesterday. So we totally are skipping rugby for something.
So football and rugby are over.
So we're skipping the more interesting sport of rugby to listen to them talk about basketball.
I don't even know the rules or whatever of rugby at all.
I know it's more exciting to watch than basketball.
Basketball's not that bad.
I hate watching basketball. No offense to people who like basketball, but fuck you. It sucks.
Well, it's Kuroko no basket.
That's anime basketball. That's not
it's
real.
Ridiculous. And it's 90% of the things they do are not legal basketball.
It's like, do I like to watch competitive swimming?
Actually,
no.
Quite a bit of it is.
But do I like free? Yes. So Silver stirred the light filtering through the blinds, glancing at the clock as he realized it was Monday. The first week of the tournament was already over, and the second just starting. So there's more than 1 week. Oh no. Gold snoozed beside him, a heavy lump of muscle and skin.
That sounds gross.
What an awful way to describe your boyfriend.
A heavy lump. A heavy lump.
Muscles.
Does he have no organs or bones?
He's just a lump.
Muscle and skin.
Woo!
Organs are muscle.
Silver leant on his elbow, gently petting Gold's hair. The wiry, thick, dark hair was surprisingly soft. Maybe it was because Green had forced a hairbrush on Gold the night before, brushing the unruly spikes roughly. Gold squealing the entire way, complaining that the bristles were too rough, or he didn't like the sound it made, or his hair was allergic to hairbrushes, and other nonsense which Green ignored, humming happily through the activity. Gold on the verge of hysterics by the time he was done.
Okay.
Red had been watching the whole time with a sadistic glint in his blood-red eyes as he used the webcam with Yellow, who had the ever-obese kitten, who...
Pikachu is fat again! That's his only purpose in this story. He's fat. He's obese now, actually.
No, you're gonna love this one. Who, under Yellow's care, had grown simply enormous.
Why is this cat here, besides to have Pikachu?
This is so funny. His whole purpose literally is to be called fat at every opportunity.
Like, literally. It's the only thing that he's ever done. He's been fat.
I'm just glad they brought him and Yellow back, because it's probably been like 10 chapters since we've seen them.
But she's not going to say anything.
Oh, I know. I love it. Hey, did you forget that Pikachu is a fat cat? Because here, he's enormous. Pikachu pawing at the screen as he saw his master but could not touch him. Frantic that he couldn't actually get to his master, who was in this strange, shining, flat surface, Pikachu had settled for sitting on Yellow's lap, meowing pitifully, looking very upset. Finally groomed, Gold had sat there sulking over his now flattened hair, and Silver, crawling over to him, had messed it up again, making the raven-haired teen pounce on him, carrying him off to their bedroom, which got a little bit too heated.
He just carries him off to the bedroom.
And that gets heated, guys.
Yeah.
Carrying you is a sexual act, apparently.
Well, once they get to the bedroom, it gets heated.
Whatever. Green, having just finished battling Gold in his hair, threw his hands up dramatically in mock despair before going off to take a shower, which, thankfully, Red had not yet destroyed. Red, however, declared the bathtub his territory. It was still clogged with whatever the hell he had done to it, and the cleaning staff had been very bemused, if not pissed about it.
Are they separate, bathtubs and showers in this
I
hotel,
guess.
Because usually there's, a tub with a shower.
They're fancy.
I mean, it's got, one of those fancy, clawed foot tubs over...
These are world-class
jacuzzi,
athletes.
I guess.
Let's be real.
Like a jacuzzi tub and, a walk-in shower. I don't know.
Again, world-class athletes.
Yeah, okay.
So they get what they want, apparently. Gold stirred and turned slightly...
Had very bemused, if not pissed about it.
Yeah, I already read that. The cleaning staff.
But had very bemused.
Look, I ignore a lot of things.
I know. I ignore most of the time, too. It's whatever. Simple spelling errors and stuff.
Gold stirred slightly and turned slightly to blink away his sleep as he gazed up at Silver, who looked down at him, still stroking his hair.
Oh, yes, it's back to the flashback or whatever has ended. Can we just not go to the basketball? I was bored to tears yesterday watching...
Yes, please! Oh my god, please!
Silver asked as he trailed his fingers down one of Gold's cheekbones. Gold grasped his wrist, placing a small kiss on the map of scars, because he is scarred. Ah! Don't mess with that pillow because it's still leaking those beads.
Okay.
I mean...
If you don't want to, I'm not much of a fan of basketball anyway. What do you want to do instead? We're gonna do something besides it. Oh my god. Silver shrugged, unsure himself as to what they'd do. Everyone else would be watching the sports. Gold brightened up. There would still be lots of tourists and people in the actual city, people who couldn't afford to get tickets, but could afford traveling to the place it was held to watch it on the big screens dotted around the place. Suggesting they went to Driftvale, Silver found the idea to his liking. Getting up fully, Gold stretched, Silver admiring the powerful, rippling movement.
Because he is strong and muscly and...
Winking at Silver, knowing exactly what he was looking at, Gold went off to take a shower. When they had told Green about their change of plans, the psychologist worried for their safety and made sure Sharin knew where they were going. The professional guard had promised the combat specialist that there were members of the Union present in Driftvale, and if either Gold or Silver had any problems, could approach any of them for help, and even get priority if they said Sharin, was in charge of them. The walk to Driftvale City was pleasant, slightly cooler than the day before. Silver could actually smell rain on the way, which was unusual in Clay's opinion. Did they just talk to Clay?
I guess. I like one of those little blisters on the roof.
Gross.
You know those things?
Yeah.
But, what was I going to say? How is it weird that you can smell rain? It's easy to smell rain.
Right?
Everywhere. I mean, yeah.
It was unusual in Clay's opinion. He had been born in Driftvale and seen quite a few summers, and rarely had they been wet.
Oh, the rain is unusual. Okay, not the smelling of the rain.
Hey, check that place out! Gold pointed at a large station-like building. Silver looked at it, coming to realize it was the newly built Sky Arrow train, the magnetic hover train that could travel to Hoenn in less than 4 hours. It was so fast. The Union must have commissioned it to be built in order for it to be ready to use in time for the World Tournament. Many people were filtering in and out of the station, either to go for a joyride at special tourist price, or just arrived to attend the tournament. Driftvale was one of the smaller cities, and thus couldn't hold all the people who had come to watch the sporting event, the largest being Castelia, which was another 2-hour drive from Driftvale, and by Sky Arrow train, it was a mere 25 to 30 minutes. Silver held Gold's hand gently, flushing slightly as he realized they were on some kind of impromptu date. They watched the hovering trains coming into the station for a while, Gold commenting on what happened if the magnetism went crazy and the train zoomed off and crashed. Silver had never realized Gold had such a vivid imagination.
How did he not realize this? I mean...
Green had been predictable because he was so dramatic, but Gold, who had never really paid much attention to the creative side of his brain, preferred logic and reason, had surprised the redhead at this time, as Gold pondered over the different ways the thing could crash.
Okay.
The most ludicrous of one being that it flew up into the sky if the magnetism was too strong before falling and splintering into pieces. It was rather morbid subject to be discussing on a date, so Silver changed it as they wandered round the city centre.
How many people do you think came to watch the World Tournament? Billions!
Billions!
Gold, who had been watching a pair of pigeons pecking at one another in a small scrap, turned slightly, acknowledging the question.
I don't know, 40,000?
Billions. More than that. Silver didn't know himself, but it was definitely more than 40,000 people, because it's billions.
Exactly.
He tugged at his ponytail. It was growing very long again. Silver never realized his hair grew so fast. His hair was already long.
Right?
Why again? He didn't get it cut or anything, did he?
No, not that we're aware of.
I guess. He made a mental note to get Pearl or Bruno to trim it for him when he got back to Kanto. Gold led him over to a bulletin board dedicated to the tournament. Scanning it quickly, Gold read out,
The second ever World Tournament International Games Series, consisting of the
stupid
5 regions, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova, is an international sporting event in which teams of 9, including the regional champion, compete in... Wait, we know this. The Driftvale Stadium can hold up to approximately 80,000 persons. Billions are there, though!
yeah,
There's billions of people in that stadium!
apparently. So now it's 80,000.
They've got billions of people fitting in a stadium that's meant to seat 80,000.
Okay.
They're like sardines. They wandered for about another hour round the city centre, enjoying the bustle. Unova was certainly more modern than Kanto. If anything, it made their home region feel smaller and more old-fashioned in the buildings. One would see cottages and terracotta-roofed buildings in Kanto, as well as bricked houses. In Unova, it was towering skyscrapers and stylish, futuristic towers that stacked flats that rose out of the ground like man-made mountains. Even the electronics in Unova were bafflingly modern.
What?
Yeah, okay. The sleek, shiny covers of phones made Silver think about Green's ancient clunky thing that used an aerial to get signal.
What?
That's a British thing.
Does it have an antenna?
I guess.
Is that what they're saying?
Silver tugged on Gold's sleeve to point out a large shop window display. It was Louis Vuitton, with several of their handbag merchandise presented underneath an emblem which depicted the 8 rounds of sports from Section 8.
What is this?
It's a Louis Vuitton.
It's Pokemon and then Louis Vuitton.
That's like $1,000 handbags. Dang.
It's so futuristic here, Silver muttered.
Just posh.
As they passed a rather high-tech looking vending machine. It had many buttons that flashed and a panel of instructions on how to use the machine. It was selling something weird like cupcakes.
I'm guessing this is
so they're
Japan.
in Japan.
Yeah.
They're in Japan. So it's like Tokyo compared to like Hokkaido or something. I don't know.
I guess.
Who knows? Shaking his head in amazement, Silver recalled how a vending machine in Kanto or Johto was pretty simple. You put in your coins, the lights would flash up, and you would press the desired object, and that was it. The cupcake vending machine from before looked as if it took credit cards, membership cards, notes, and vouchers. Vouchers? I mean, okay. It was baffling, to say the least. The two teens turned the street corner to stroll through another shopping district of Driftvale. However, those shops were touristier than the brand names from the city centre. Gold pulled Silver into one of the tourist stores, trying on the different hats on display. There was one funny floppy hat that had looked so ridiculous on the strong, eagle-eyed teen. Don't describe him ever again. But Silver had to go outside to stop himself from laughing.
It wasn't that funny, Silv. I thought it looked cool, Gold said, joining the redhead outside.
It wasn't cool at all, Gold. It was plain stupid.
You thought it was the sexiest hat you'd ever seen. Silver snorted, crossing his arms as he turned to face his partner, who was busy adjusting his hair in the shop window carefully.
In your dreams. It was the most ridiculous hat I've seen to date, especially on you.
I hate
Stop flirting.
I literally hate them.
They continued down the district shop, stopping by a small cafe for Gold to pick up a takeaway coffee. Hasty as ever, he had burnt his tongue on the scalding liquid.
Coffee is hot, children. Unless stated otherwise.
Silver sat with Gold on the bench they had found as Gold, with a pained look on his face, sat there slowly sucking on his tongue to soothe the temporary burn it had received. A woman timidly approached them, holding a clipboard.
Good morning. Would you like to participate in a quick questionnaire? I have no idea if I've used that voice before.
Probably, but whatever.
Silver looked at her neutrally.
What kind of questionnaire?
Oh, this is for the Dritvale City Council, or the Dritvale Council. I'll use this voice instead to be safe. They want to know.
That's kind of Dumbledore, but
They
also
want
kind
to
of
know how
accenty.
hosting the tournament this year will affect their income rates and such.
This is fucking Dumbledore.
Would you still be interested in
Not sure who that
participating?
last person was.
Silver turned to Gold, who had stuck his tongue out in attempts to cool the sensitive organ down. To cool it down!
The sensitive organ.
In the slow breeze that was drifting through the buzzing city, Gold shrugged, why not? Silver nodded, and the woman thanked them both. Where do you come from?
Is she evil? Yeah.
Probably.
Is this me talking?
Yeah.
I guess. Kanto.
I see. I love Kanto. It's so beautiful and clean, unlike Unova, which is quite polluted. Anyway, why did you come to
Need
Driftveil?
an all-new accent.
For the tournament, the shopping, leisure, or other?
Tournament, right? Silver looked at Gold, who shrugged and then nodded. Yeah, you're here for the tournament. There's not a question about it.
Oh my god, I hate that.
And then nodded, his tongue still hanging out slightly, his steaming paper cup of coffee sitting on the bench beside him. Silver solidified the answer, answering the next few questions. Do you like Driftveil? Would you come here again? Would you recommend anything to family/friends, etc.? With ease. Gold finally stopped sticking his tongue out and opted to carefully take the plastic lid off of his cup to take a tentative sip.
How did you travel to Unova? Plane, boat, or train?
Plane. And if you want which airport, Mr. Alton. We drove to Driftveil. The woman scribbled down the answers quickly. After checking some boxes, she looked up and smiled.
Thank you both kindly for your cooperation. I hope the Driftveil Council hope you both enjoy the rest of your day.
She's probably, like, evil.
She is super evil. Trotting off her heels, clicking away merrily, Silver turned to Gold, who was busy tipping back his coffee now that it was a suitable, non-hazardous temperature to drink. Wiping his mouth on the back of his hand, Gold wrinkled his nose as he looked down at the empty cup. Not the best, but I've had worse coffee than this. I swear it needs to be a law that the distribution of hot beverages that are so high in temperature it is considered hazardous to be illegal. What do you think? Or, coffee is always hot, unless you get iced. So...
Yeah, and if it's not hot to begin with, then it can't cool down to the temperature people like.
Exactly.
You can always let it cool down, you can't make it hotter. I mean, you can, but not
Whatever.
if you're just like walking around and not with access to like a microwave. Whatever.
Gold tossed his cup in the plastic bin nearby and came back to sit heavily on the bench, reaching up to rest it casually, comfortably on the backrest. To rest what? What is it? He threw the cup away.
His arm, probably. I don't know.
Silver looked up at the sky. It was definitely getting darker, looking like rain. But if it did, it wouldn't affect the basketball in the tournament, as the stadium would be both open and closed. Could be both open and closed. Plus, the basketball was all undercover indoors anyways. Silver had a feeling if they didn't start to go back to the hotel or find some kind of shelter, they'd get caught in a rather abrupt shower. Realizing Gold was actually waiting for some kind of answer, Silver jolted, finding a random answer to give.
I guess so. I never really drink hot drinks, so I wouldn't really have experienced the burnt tongue sensation. Besides, wouldn't any normal person wait a few minutes before taking a sip of their drink? Gold humphed as he kicked at a small rock nearby, sending it clattering across the gray gum-spotted pavement in a bouncing, skipping motion.
What happens if you're like me, though, and want to drink it straight away?
I don't know. You're an idiot.
Yeah, you are, Gold.
Gold looked like he was about to protest when Silver pierced the raven-haired male with a fond look. It was a strange, warm expression on the redhead's face, open and amused, if not a little exasperated. I'm teasing you, Gold, Silver said softly, reaching out to pat Gold on the side of the head gently.
Jesus.
Gold leant into the action, purring in his chest like a large overgrown cat. Like a large overgrown cat.
That's how
Silver
I purr.
continued till his arm felt heavy. Dropping his hand, Silver went back to watching the sky. Aren't you gonna go find shelter?
I guess not.
Apparently not. Those dark clouds were definitely closer than they had been a few minutes ago. Silver wondered if the wind speed up in the sky was particularly strong, seeing as there was literally almost next to nothing of a breeze down on ground
Are
level.
they gonna have a tornado? I hope so.
This is Gold.
What are you thinking about? Gold asked, and Silver turned to him confused.
What?
You look like you were thinking deeply about something. Care to share?
I was just looking at the sky and thinking about how it was going to rain. Silver responded. This is a riveting conversation.
This is a riveting chapter. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Sulfur responded. Gold nodded and stood, brushing his trousers off with a quick sweeping motion, dislodging a small sticker that had somehow fastened itself to the golden-eyed male's trousers.
That somehow stuck to him.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Too many adjectives,
Silver
kids.
also stood slowly, looking round him in awe at the huge metal buildings, all metal and tall.
The huge metal buildings, all metal.
And tall. They're huge and metal and tall.
I hate this.
Unlike the short brick or wooden structures of Kanto.
We literally went over this
Yes.
in this less than 10 minutes ago.
Gold rotated his shoulders a few times, also looking at the looming dark sky thoughtfully.
We might as well go find shelter for now. I could smell rain earlier and the air feels heavier. Why don't we go find lunch? It's almost 12:30 anyway. Upon the prospect of lunch having not eaten that morning, Silver agreed, and they both went off
Of lunch.
in search of
Having
somewhere
not
to
eaten that
eat,
morning.
finally settling for a small cafe with a pretty little salad bar in the corner. Choosing to sit indoors but near the window, Gold cursed quietly.
What? There we go.
What?
Gold looked at Silver.
I just realized if it rains within the next hour, we're going to get drenched. We don't have anything concerning keeping dry. Silver shrugged. A little water never hurt anyone anyway. Mildly by Silver's carefree response, Gold went back to looking at the worn cafe menu with a quick scanning motion. It was only when they just ordered their food, Gold was trying out their barbecue chicken wrap, and Silver had taken fancy to the grilled salmon salad, that the heavens truly darkened and opened up to unleash a cascade of rain that hailed down viciously. Their waiter, as he poured them water, exclaiming how it never normally rained like that during summer.
Yes,
it was
we
more
heard.
around winter that Driftvale would have its seasonal rainfall. So it's Japan, essentially. Mm-hmm. That was fast, Gold commented, his chin propped up on his hand. Silver glanced out the cafe window, noticing how the heavy rain had stopped, and a lighter patter of rain felt rhythmic.
It was heavy rain for like 2 seconds.
He had been too busy secretly observing Gold, who had been very interesting to watch. The subtle ways in which those dark, expressive eyebrows moved. They looked like caterpillars on his face. Frowning or raised, Silver liked how they were defined and bold, very much like his nose, which was neat, or as neat as noses went. Baffled by his thoughts, Silver folded his napkin into a small triangle before unfolding it. Gold drummed on the tabletop as he watched the muted television in the corner of the cafe, watching the current basketball match in the tournament, Unova against Hoenn.
Oh, that's a thing. This is me? Okay.
Is this you?
Yes, because Gold can't actually look at it. He's not facing the TV, apparently.
No, Gold is watching it.
In this next line, I guess.
I have no idea who says this. I don't care.
Unova needs to win this match, or else they'll fall too far behind to ever catch up in the points, unless they have some sort of trump card. Gold turned slightly in his seat so he could see better. The basketball was 3-on-3, and currently it was Stephen, Wallace, and Flannery versus Alder, Drayden, and Silen.
I think Gold was supposed to have said that.
I don't really care.
I don't either.
Gold fixated on the screen, did not notice when the food arrived. Thanking their server, Silver rolled his eyes as Gold tried to multitask, eating and watching, but ending up dropping pieces of lettuce everywhere.
Literally me when I eat a taco.
Silver snorted at the mess his lover was making.
Lover!
Gold.
That's more like his vocal range. Gold still watched the screen, his cheeks bulging slightly, looking very much like a hamster. Stifling a laugh and an eye roll, Silver gained the hawk-eyed male's attention eventually.
You cannot multitask, Gold. Look at yourself, Silver said bluntly, pointing out all the fallen bits of food. Grinning sheepishly, Gold cleared the mess up. Satisfied that he had done a thorough job, Silver sat back in his chair to finish off his salad, every now and again, eyes flicking to the screen. It was a rather close match. Unova winning by 64, and Hoenn close behind with 62. Winning by 64? With 64. Silver, swallowing his current mouthful, gestured to the screen with his fork briefly. Who do you want to win? Gold turned to look at him out of the corner of his sun-gold eyes.
I don't actually know. I support Kanto and Jonto mainly because I've lived in both, so in the end I'll just see who wins. The rain outside, whilst light, still hadn't stopped, and Silver pushed his plate away gently to observe the population running about with their umbrellas out. A medley or a symphony of different colours. It was interesting how rain made everything brighter and more colorful, because all the umbrellas were colorful, and then after the rain came out and the sun and all the flowers and grass would be brighter, greener, and fresher. Hell, even during rain, if the sun came out, it would create a rainbow, which was a spectrum of color. Amused by his own quaint little thought process, Silver snagged his glass of water, taking tiny sips. But it made sense rain did all that, seeing as it was water, and water gave light. When did Silver give a shit about life, about colors, about beautiful things? When did he care?
That doesn't actually look that terrible. I'm gonna keep it.
Silver never gave half a frick about any of that.
But he's in love now, so he likes life.
Whatever.
Are you done yet? Silver said, peering at Gold's plate. Gold, distracted, nodded. I guess it was Gold thinking that, but...
Whatever.
Nodded, and Silver hailed the waiter to get the bill. As the table was cleared...
I feel like Silver would do that. Snap. I literally feel like Silver would snap.
Probably. I mean, if it's like someone you know and you're like, hey, person, pay attention to me.
Did that to Bethany when we went to ice cream station last year. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
I do, yeah. As the table was cleared, Silver looked at Gold closely, using Gold's timely distraction to observe him closely, without the hawk-eyed male leering at him or making perverted comments every 2 seconds. He doesn't make perverted comments every 2 seconds.
Literally.
Like, at all. Gold had a strong, angular jaw, and a long, corded, powerful neck.
We know!
We know about his powerful neck, and arms, and legs, and stomach, and chest, and face, and ankles, and toes. He's strong. Okay, we get it. And proportionate cheekbones. Why is... So his neck is powerful, and his cheekbones are proportionate. What does that even mean? How are cheekbones not proportionate? Do they like, I don't know.
I've shut down.
They made his face neither too long nor too bony. He had neat ears and clever full lips that looked so attractive when pulled into a classic Gold smirk. But looked wonderful when Gold smiled.
Do you think this author just had like a thesaurus sitting next to them and they were like, how many different words can I use to describe his eyes and his face and his toenails?
I don't know. We haven't heard about his toenails.
I would, honest to God, would not be surprised if we saw them.
He's gonna like sit with like his feet on his lap or something. He's gonna be like playing with his toes as
his
he just
perfect, angular, strong toes.
Yeah, they're gonna be strong.
Maybe Gold has hobbit feet.
Lots of hair. Okay.
Where the hell are we?
And so Trek Gold when he smiled. Okay.
What Silver liked the most?
What Silver liked the most about Gold, however, were his eyes, which were large, but not overly so. Ruby had large eyes, as did Green. Like one of those anime characters Red loved to watch.
Did you know, this is like a real thing, if your eyes are like misproportionately big, you might have thyroid problems.
Nice.
Like that's legitimately a medical thing.
Nice.
So anime eyes are a sign of thyroid issues. Continue.
And anime characters just have like mercury poisoning or something, wasn't it? Because it causes like early graying of the hair and like anime tears, you know?
Oh my god.
It's like mercury. And like hallucinations. So every anime is a hallucination from their white-haired anime.
Literally.
Mercury poisoned. Anyways, Gold's eyes were proportionate to his facial size and structure, and were a lovely almond slanted shape framed by thick, dark lashes on the top lid of his eye and a slightly paler on the lower. What? His lower lashes are slightly paler, apparently. I guess. But what Silver loved more than that was the color of Gold's eyes most. His namesake eyes. A warm, sunny amber color. Clear and piercing, like a hawk or eagle. He loved
Are you
how they started.
Are you freaking kidding me?
This next line, though. He loved how they started as a dark, burnt honey near the pupil, and then ringed out to a clear, light, golden, sandy color. The middle tone being various shades of clear amber, gold, sunlight, and a yellow topaz.
I'm crying. I can't believe, after literally describing him by only his eye color, this whole... Oh...
He loves most the color of his eyes, the yellow topaz, emerald, they're not emerald.
Oh my
Yellow, topaz, gold, sunlight, golden, sandy, honey, dark, burnt. It's like, how many adjectives can you fit in one sentence?
I can't...
In different lights, gold eyes looked different. Also, his moods. Silver found that when Gold was angry, his eyes would darken to a hazel color, and when he was happy, they were a seemingly pale, glimmering gold color. Silver didn't know if it was just tricks of the light that made it seem that way, or if it was his mind deceiving him. Altering what he saw to please his own silly fantasies. That's a long paragraph about his eyes.
Please finish.
Unsure which was which, Silver hummed, signing the bill quickly with a slanting, neat script.
I'm better. I'm better now. I promise.
Okay, this is Silver. Ready to go? Gold looked at him, startled, as if he'd forgotten Silver was there, and then nodded.
But where to? He asked, and Silver shrugged as they stepped out under the dripping blinds of the cafe. Silver had to admit, he and Gold really didn't have much to talk about when it really came down to interacting with one another.
What?
So you're just fuck buddies, then?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting out of it. It was a bit pathetic, really, but Gold seemed quite happy that way. Yet it still didn't settle right in, Silver's opinion, having watched one too many chick flicks. Courtesy of both Bruno and Pearl whenever they decided to have movie Fridays at the hair salon.
How long? I guess it's been a couple months, I suppose.
Because didn't two people who liked one another talk more when they were together? Silver bit his lower lip gently. Perhaps it was because they were just shy. Gold didn't want to scare him off, and he was too shy to say anything. Gold observed the rain. We're going to get drenched. Do you want to wait till it stops? Silver quirked up his lips. It seemed Gold couldn't handle a little water. Silver was used to getting soaked to the bone when he lived lying and cheating on the streets, especially when Kanto had its miserably cold and wet season. It was because Mother Nature was a total bitch that Silver never actually caught his death of a cold.
What? It's because Mother Nature's a bitch that you didn't die.
I guess. Oh yeah, I guess is he still suicidal then? Taking Gold by the hand, Silver walked straight out into the rain. Gold, who had given a sharp cry of alarm, recovered and looked down at Silver with a new look in his eye.
Oh,
You're really something.
What?
Gold said.
Why is he something?
His long, dark fringe getting plastered to the side of his face, and Silver raised both his
I thought it wasn't
eyebrows.
raining heavily anymore.
Before looking up into the gray heavens as thick droplets fell quickly. The rain felt warm, almost exotically tropical in how warm they were.
The rain is they now.
Yeah.
It was. Probably.
Oh my god.
So are you, Silver replied something, holding out both hands to capture the rain in the cup he had formed. What? People bustled round them, sparing them odd glances as they realized both of the teens were soaked through. Guess because they're in the rain.
Yeah.
Silver took a deep breath, watching the rain slip through his fingers. Fast. Fleeting. Free. Gone.
Okay, Mr. Poet.
He does write haikus.
It's snowing on Mount Fuji. That's a haiku in and of itself. Oh my god. Okay. Silver?
Yes. Gold placed his hands over Silver's smaller, pale ones, his expression slightly stern. Rain trickling down the side of his face, off the end of his nose and chin.
Stop thinking so hard. What's wrong?
Nothing is wrong. It doesn't say that. continue reading. It's not dialogue.
My brain was like, now Lindsay responds. No. Silver honestly didn't know what was wrong, but he expressed his thoughts anyways. He just happened to be in a deep philosophical mood today. Maybe, just maybe. But that didn't really mean anything, or at least not in the wider sense of considering his personal feelings. It was more of a spark of philosophical genius. Silver assumed, however, his genius had probably been thought of before by another person, and perhaps another person in another time.
What? No, nothing's wrong. It's just, I was thinking about how the rain is like people. They have short lifespans. Gold looked somewhat alarmed, worried Silver had some kind of relapse and was considering self-harm or something equally distressing.
What on earth brought this on?
It's okay. I meant that in a positive way. Who wants to live forever? Gold sighed and reached out to poke the silvery-eyed teen on the nose.
I do.
Why? Silver frowned slightly. He wouldn't want to live forever. Everything would become so lonely and sad. What if you were together?
Together
so
forever.
Lonely and sad, and even with the world changing, he would be left behind. Gold reiterated on his answer, his voice sincere, and Silver felt like he could be happy just listening to that specific tone. Gold's voice was quiet as well as earnest.
I do, if it means 1,000,000 lifetimes with you. I would live forever just to see you and meet and love all your future incarnations. Holy shit, I've known you for like a year and we've dated for like a month.
But I want to live forever.
To be with you.
To be with you in all of your reincarnations, because I believe in reincarnations.
I hate...
Oh.
Silver didn't have anything to say to something as incredibly, as ludicrously, as intimately, and as romantically stupid as that. Gold had looked so honest as he stood in the falling rain. Silver swore if there was a film crew documenting them, as of now, he would kill someone. This was so unrealistically bad TV drama-ish, he could potentially die from embarrassment. But as he felt the rain falling in his hair, trickling down his being, the warmth enveloping him, Silver knew it was real, and that he wasn't embarrassed in the slightest. He liked being with Gold, and so he smiled. It wasn't one of his normal small twitches, or curve of the lips as he normally did. He smiled fully, feeling foreign to the way his face moved to accommodate the new expression.
He smiles all the time.
Gold looked thunderstruck, his cheeks colored much to Silver's immense astonishment, a slight pink. If only I had a camera, he mused, quickly moving to make way for a particularly harassed businessman who was hurrying through the streets, his briefcase held aloft to temporarily stop the rain. Silver toned down the smile to his usual small quirk. Gold motioned, beckoning for him to go through the crowd. Silver, puzzled, asked what they were doing, and Gold had a mischievous look on his face as he leant in close. Silver waited for him to say something, but was greeted with a small kiss, warm and chaste. Horrified that Gold had just kissed him in public, Silver jumped. "Tag, you're it!" Gold grinned before turning and ran, disappearing into the crowd. Incensed.
Before turning and ran? That's like... They're both present tense. No, the ran is kind of past.
I don't know.
Turning and running.
Yeah, I know. Incensed. Somewhere, Silver went...
Somewhat.
Silver went after the naughty teen, dodging other pedestrians. Dodging other pedestrians, looking for that blaze of red amongst the throng of the crowd.
It seems like it's been a really long chapter, even though we're only like 30-some minutes in.
No, we're definitely like almost 50.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
It wasn't hard, seeing as the majority of the people were wearing gray, blue, or black uniforms, and Gold was wearing red. Silver didn't like how his heart thudded painfully in his chest.
Gold was wearing red, LOL.
He hated seeing people run away from him. It hurt a lot, and whilst he knew they were playing a game, he couldn't stop thinking of how when Gold got bored of him and left him for someone else.
Coming up?
But that was the devil on his left shoulder speaking. Gold had told him specifically that he wanted him and him alone. I love angst, but this is driving me crazy. But not wanted to be so easily placated by his right shoulder angel, Silver cursed as he lost Gold completely. Where are you? Still running through the noisy, bustling crowd in the rain, in the direction he had last seen the stocky teen go, Silver turned a corner into the city centre sharply before he was grabbed and pulled into an alleyway entrance. Surprised, Silver struggled and then elbowed his attacker. There was a familiar grunt, and Silver turned to see Gold taking a step back, rubbing his breastbone. A diminutive, cheeky grin on his lips, his brow furrowed slightly in pain.
You want to go for the solar plexus, not the breastbone. What are you doing, Silver?
At least I know you can handle yourself in that kind of situation, Gold said, amused, and Silver turned and flew into Gold's arms, raising himself up onto his tiptoes to kiss him. Is this gonna turn into that scene? Is it gonna be the I never want you to leave me?
Yes!
Oh no! Clinging to the front of Gold's soaked red shirt desperately, Gold, unsure of what had just happened, returned the gesture, gently cradling Silver's head. They parted. When they parted, Silver rested his head against Gold's chest, panting slightly from his earlier chase.
Please don't leave me, Gold whispered, and Gold chuckled, stroking Silver's hair gently, finding Silver's insecurity adorable. Why is it adorable? He wasn't going anywhere, not when he had all he ever wanted in italics. Right here in his arms. Sure, all the glitters were not gold.
Oh.
All that glitters is not gold. But Gold was pretty certain he had just found his silver lining. God, Gold and Silver puns.
I want to die.
Silver was still scared. That's kind of scarred, actually. That's scarred.
I think it's scarred.
And now he was healing up those nasty scars in favor of something better.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Is that why you were so depressed earlier? Because you thought I'd eventually leave you? Silver flinched. Gold had hit the nail right on the head. He nodded slightly, and Gold pulled him into a tight hug that burned all over and felt so right, much like his herpes. Silver...
I don't know if that feels right, but okay.
Silver buried his nose into the brook of Gold's strong arm.
The brook?
Swearing
Maybe
to himself that he wouldn't cry or anything remotely stupid. He couldn't help it, though. Whilst he had been so happy, he had so many small moments of insecurity that it had become quite a big thing for him. He still couldn't believe it. He still couldn't believe Gold was his and that he was here to stay.
Why? Gold's no prize.
Honestly, neither is Silver. They're both messes.
Yeah.
I won't, Silver. Unless I die, will I have to.
What? He's gonna die.
That'd be good. That'd be good angst.
He's gonna almost die or something.
And I sure as hell am not.
It's like Red X Green where the building and they found Giovanni and you could tell he was dead. And then Red
Silver's gonna listen to Save Love by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis on his Pokepod.
I mean, that'd be hilarious if there was a shout out to that.
Can I please finish this sentence because it's the worst? Okay, I'm gonna reread it from the start in one thought. I won't, Silver. Unless I die, will I have to. And I sure as hell am not. I won't dying anytime soon, believe me.
Okay.
Silver said nothing, silently letting the tears fall. He really was a nervous, insecure, emotional wreck whenever Gold was around. So maybe Gold is not good for you if the only things you feel when you're near him is nervous, insecure, and emotional.
Yeah.
But that was okay. He liked the change of pace. He loved how Gold whirled into his life, turning it upside down, inside out, and spun it round and round like it would never stop.
Round and round it goes where it stops.
Nobody knows. He didn't want it to stop ever, because Gold made him happy, made him angry, made him sad, laugh, smile, and everything he could ever truly feel as a human being. Silver looked up at the taller male.
Gold, He couldn't say it, and Gold knew it. Giving Silver warm smile, his golden eyes unguarded, he looked up as the rain stopped.
It's okay, Silver. Take your time. But Silver didn't want to take his time. He wanted to say it now, but it was as if he were to describe it in Red's words, some kind of vocal constipation, which was truly unattractive. But Silver was fine if Gold found his vocal constipation cute, which, judging by the way his eyebrows had shot up in amusement, told him he no doubt did find it as such. Good.
Okay. This is you, so...
I did a thing. Let's go back and get changed, shall we? Gold held out his hand, turning slightly as he prepared to run off again.
Your hand isn't on the screen.
Not missing his changes this time. Silver took that offered hand, and together they spun through the streets of Dritvale City back to their hotel, dodging people and pets as well as unmovable objects such as lampposts and dustbins and trees.
What? What is this? What is happening?
I feel like this is the type of... The person who wrote this got a lot of notes from their teacher in their English class saying they needed to be more descriptive. And this is their way of... I almost said constipating. This is their way of compensating.
Oh, God.
Oh, the whole way Silver's lungs burned and his legs ached from an activity he rarely did, and the air smelt fresh, clean, and the breeze was warm, and somewhere the sun was shining. Silver smiled.
Gold?
Yes, Silv?
Where are we going? You could almost hear Gold's confusion.
The hotel? Why, is there somewhere else you wanted to go? I'm sorry, this voice is killing me today. Silver nodded and diverted their path down to a small sign that read, "To the beach."
Beach. Let's go.
Tugging Gold along this time, leading him instead of the other way round, they stumbled onto the dark, salt-dampened, scented, damp sand. The rolling waves were gray and cold in the aftermath of the warm rain, but Silver thought it was beautiful. It smelled fresh and new.
Okay. I've never been to the sea, Silver admitted, and Gold squeezed his hand gently.
There's always a first time for everything, Silver. They stayed like that, standing on the beach for another hour.
This chapter
the wind in their hair, their clothes
dramatic.
slowly drying. The sun burst out, shimmering across the foaming waves, turning the initial uniform gray into a sea spray of colors.
Kinda, I guess.
Silver looked on in wonder as the greens and blues and the reds present in the water.
Okay. Yeah. That's the...
That chapter was like a Bollywood film.
It was so dramatic.
If I care enough when I edit this...
Is someone setting off fireworks?
Yeah, we could put on... I could put in...
July anymore,
I could put in those wacky, like, transitions to be like when Silver and Gold meet up, just... all that crazy... Oh my god. That's literally... It would make it. This is literally a Bollywood film.
Never seen a Bollywood film.
Oh my god, I can't believe that we actually... That was the chapter. What significantly happened?
Nothing. They went to lunch and avoided the basketball games.
Oh, and for the millionth time, Gold told Silver he's not leaving him, but Silver's insecure ass still thinks Gold's gonna leave him.
I mean, yeah, insecurities, whatever, but it's like... It's so out of character.
I'm so upset. I'm honestly so upset right now.
If you would have started out this way... I wouldn't have liked him as much, I suppose, in the beginning.
I know, but I liked it.
But it would have been better than if it's like, oh, he's independent man who don't need no man.
And now it's like...
and now he's like, oh,
I need a man.
Without you, I will fall apart into a trembling mass of insecurities and loneliness and depression, and you're the only thing holding me together, Gold. Without you, I have no reason to live. Okay, he hasn't actually said that, but he's pretty much projecting it with his entire
literally implied. Oh my god, this is getting so ridiculously, like, crazy and not good.
Very Red X screen.
Yeah. I am hoping and praying we get better in the next chapters.
Which we might double up. We're
gonna try to for the next one. We're gonna try to double up, so it might be an extended episode, so stay tuned for that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked the episode, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we have awesome new content that comes out every week.
Look at our awesome lighting.
Be sure to...
Shadows.
Be sure to leave a comment down below if you have another fic you'd like us to read. We'll read it in between these ones. We will read every fic that's put in the comments, or at least try to.
Unless we get super popular.
Yeah, unless we get super popular,
that's
which is
gonna
my
happen.
goal.
That's gonna happen.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And join us next week when we read more Clockwork. We'll be reading, hopefully, chapters 28 and 29. We're going to see, though, how long it takes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, bye, everybody.
Bye.